Hey, this is Heather, Elizabeth Towing.
Hey, how we doing?
Good, how are you?
All righty. Hey,
I have Ronnie here. He was out towing some cars. He's just getting into the office.
Perfect. We appreciate it. We've been actually getting a lot of people calling up, waiting, trying to ask questions, but I told them to call back in about 10 minutes. So, but we're ready for Ronnie.
All right. Hold on one second.
Thank you, ma'am.
Hello.
Hey, Ronnie.
Hey, how you doing, buddy?
All righty. Hey, thanks a lot for calling the Tom the Treeman Show.
Sorry I'm a little bit late, man. I was out on a wreck scene. I couldn't leave.
Hey, no problem at all. No problem. You actually got a lot of fans, actually. We're going to ask you a lot of questions, but they've been calling, like, constantly. You actually got one calling in right now. If you go ahead, you're on the phone with Ronnie from Elizabeth Towing.
Hey, Mr. Shirley.
Hey, Ronnie,
Anthony Sutton.
What's up, Anthony?
Okay. Hey, Mr. Ronnie. My name is Anthony Sutton, and I'm a huge fan of you. I leave comments on you as a Facebook page sometimes, and I was wondering, are you going to be back on TV?
Well, we're actually in negotiations right now. We've been doing a little bit of filming here lately, and we're trying to work out a new contract. We will not be back on True TV, but if we can make arrangements on our contract, I think you'll probably see us a lot sooner than most people are expecting.
Okay, that sounds awesome.
I appreciate that, bro.
We guys will be on TV. We'll be with Direct TV also.
Oh yeah, I'm sure to be on Direct. I can't promise you that, but they usually carry most of the reality channels.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And
all right, sorry about that. I think I don't want to keep. Hey, Ronnie, this is Tom.
Yeah, buddy.
Hey, one, I want to thank you very much for calling our show. I've been pushing it a lot. You got a lot of people that's been calling in. I probably had like 20 people calling within a 10-minute span. I know you've been busy, and we appreciate it. One, I'm a big fan, and what I want to ask you, I'm good friends with Robbie from South Beach Tow, and what I'd like to know is on your show itself, obviously a lot of times, but have you got into a major altercation that you guys had to not be able to, like, hey, okay, stop filming, we got to stop this? Have you ever had that issue?
Most definitely, yeah. During the first season, man, we had a cameraman get sent to the hospital, and there was a court case going on for a couple months. They wouldn't air that one. We did one where a guy actually put out an assault rifle and fired some rounds off. We couldn't air that one. We had one where we did a fishing boat, and it got very violent. Couldn't air that one. So there's been several that never got aired. I mean, several.
Yeah. Now, obviously, I was playing a couple of your YouTube videos for a lot of the fans and stuff like that while waiting for you to call in. Now, I see that Bobby. Are we looking at Bobby possibly coming back to when you come back, or is that basically over? If you don't want to talk about it, it's okay.
Bo, you never. The one thing I've learned about when you're climbing ladders, man, is you never cut a rung off the ladder.
Yes, sir.
Because Bo, you got to go up and down the same ladder most of your life, so there's always a chance that you might see Bobby again. Is it likely? Absolutely not. Is it something I'll push for? Absolutely not. But, man, everybody, I think one of my favorite quotes is, two paths diverge in the wood, and I being a weary traveler chose the one less traveled, and that in a sense made all the difference. Me and Bobby just chose different paths.
Yes, sir.
So, take that for what it's worth, but he's going one way, I'm going another. Doesn't mean he's right and I'm wrong. Doesn't mean I'm right and he's wrong. It just means we decide to go in opposite directions, man. And sometimes when you walk in opposite directions long enough, you meet each other on the other side of the world, so who knows? Definitely.
Now, what made you, I mean, did you start off when, like, possibly your dad or your grandfather or something? What made you decide, hey, I'm going to get into this and start doing the towing company?
When I was young, and that was a long time ago, because, I used to do my homework by firelight. Sometimes it was in the cave. But when I was young, man, I was big into football, and the only thing I was good at, Bo, was God had gave me the gift of gab, and for some reason I could fight. And that's mainly why you don't see me fight nowadays. But so, I went on off to school and finished high school and did a little college, tried to play a little ball. But to be honest with you, man, I had great parents. But when growing up, though, we weren't what I would call country poor, but we didn't have no money. And so, like, when I went to college, man, I went out to Springfield, Missouri, and I lived on $20 a week. That's what I lived on. That was groceries, food, whatever I needed, man. And So whenever I had a chance to work, I worked. And I came home at spring break and actually was roofing a house, and that's how I paid my way through high school. And I got struck by lightning. I took a direct strike.
Damn.
Yeah, so by the time I recovered, man, I'd lost my left knee. And so, everything was over for me. So I couldn't climb up and down ladders for a long time. I was just having it rough. And my brother was in college, but my dad had lost a job of 22 years, and he had opened a little car lot. And so one day he just come to me, and I was working at some different clubs and stuff, bouncing, and he said, "Hey, this guy won't pay me. Will you go get the car?" And I said, "Yeah, Pops, I go get it." And I'll never forget it, man. It was a gold T-top 1980 Camaro. And I remember going out there and, "Hey, man, can you give me the keys?" He's like, "If you can take them." We had a fist fight, and I knew I was going into the repo business right after that. It was just an adrenaline rush, man. So it's kind of funny, man, how God directs your life, but that's how I ended up in it.
Now on the show, I know y'all never pulled out any guns or anything like that. Obviously, y'all handled it differently, but obviously, do you carry, or do you or people that work for you?
No, actually, in the state of North Carolina, you can't carry any type of weapon in a repossession truck if you have repossession insurance.
Okay.
That's why you don't see us carry. You can't have a taser gun. You can't have mace. You can't have a bat. You can't have a belly bat. You can't have a stun gun. You can't have a regular pistol, shotgun, rifle. You can't have any of that. If our insurance company finds out, they're going to basically cut your insurance. So, unfortunately, we don't. And, that's why you have to learn how to either be quick or be, sometimes you just got to be able to talk to them, let them cuss at you, let them, kind of vent. Once you let them do that, sometimes you can calm them down enough to get going.
We have Styles actually on the phone. I believe you and Styles were talking back and forth. He was talking to Heather. Styles, You want to say hi?
Hey, Mr. Shirley.
Say that again. I lost you, buddy.
Yep. Hey, man. How you doing?
Oh, I'm getting old, fat, and ugly, but I'm good at them things.
I'm catching up with you.
All right, Styles, your phone's breaking up a little bit. Let's go ahead and Ronnie. Now I know with you and Amy, I know you guys definitely, which I was talking about earlier about y'all having the verses and stuff on there, and you definitely follow the Bible and stuff like that. I mean, is that how you decided to? Is everybody involved in your company the same way?
No, I mean, Bo, I don't force my religion down nobody's throat. That's what I believe. And I believe the problem in America is that we talk about freedoms of religion. We talk about freedoms. But if somebody believes different than you, then all of a sudden, man, you don't want them to have that freedom. So, that's why I wear the verses I wear and wear the jerseys I wear. That's just my way of loving on folks, man. And, most of us in America, man, we have stigmas and we have just things that we feel are worse than other things. And honestly, Bo, up until about 8 years ago, I was doing drugs and running roads, and I was down in the dirt. I mean, I know a lot of people say they dance with the devil. I slept with him, lived at his house, ate at his table. I was one of them cats, and I got saved, man. It just turned my life around. And so, I came out about 2 years after the show. When I was 15, had committed a couple of small crimes, and back then they had a first offenders program, so I was put into like a first offenders program. It was like a mental ward, is what I'd call it. You stay in the locked room, talk to a psychiatrist twice a week, and the doctor raped me every Tuesday and Thursday. So for many years, Bo, I just, the guy takes your manhood, you're just going to get as big and tough as you can get, so nobody ever takes it. And once the show took off and I got saved, I realized, Bo, there's a lot of people out there to get assaulted and abused, and not just sexually, but mentally, physically, emotionally. And so through the show, Bo, we've been able just to love on kids and people who, man, if you've had an addiction, you can look at people and if they got an addiction, where everybody else can't tell. If you had something happen to you, a lot of times you can look at somebody and you can tell. And so, man, it's just open doors, windows, trap doors, ceilings. So, the show in itself, man, the best part of the show was we get to help people, and that's what it's all about. It's just passing on some love.
Absolutely. I believe you got another fan. Go ahead. You're on the phone with Ronnie Shirley.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, man. I was just wondering, is there any chance the old Lizard-like episodes would ever make it to Netflix or Hulu?
Bo, they were on Hulu for a while, and I don't know that they were on Netflix, but I know they were on Amazon Prime. I know they were on Hulu, and they were on something else. You can always go to YouTube and see all of them. So, that's one way to watch them. I know TrueTV.com used to carry a lot of them, the full episodes. What I tell a lot of people, man, is what most people don't realize is there's a show before Lizard Lit called All Worked Up that we were on for 3 years. And if you haven't seen All Worked Up, man, you should really watch it, because that's when it was in its prime, and it was just, I mean, Bo, we were crazy in crack house rats, and things were tough in Tarzan feet to get done, and it was, you know, 3 of us and a cameraman and a sound guy. So that's my best recommendations, man. True TV kind of changed directions, and they went to a comedy network. So they took some stuff down from some of their old shows, but it's still out there. I mean, if you look around, you can find it.
I loved All Worked Up. I'm actually from Zebulon, so I've been following you guys. In fact, even since before the show was started. Y'all have come a long way. I'm proud of y'all.
Wow, man, I appreciate it. Honestly, you know, we tell everybody God put us here, fans keep us here. It ain't us that come a long way. It's the fans that sent us a long way.
Amen to that. Hope you and Miss Amy have a wonderful evening.
Well, if Miss Amy just don't come around, man, we'll be all right.
Oh, have a good one.
Take care, buddy.
All right, Ronnie, sorry about that.
No.
Yeah, you got, trust me, like I said, they were blowing the phone up earlier. I'm like, okay, hold on, he'll call in, calm down. Everybody
yeah, I was on that wreck scene, and, you know, when you're working for the police department, you got to make sure you do what you do, but we just tweeted it, and Heather's been pushing it real hard on Facebook, so they'll probably know I'm back on now.
Well, once we get you back on, once the show, you know, gets back up and going and everything, or whatever you want to push, if you have a charity, feel free. Heather has my information here. You have my information. You have my follow me on Twitter. I follow you obviously already. Follow us. We will help you however you need as far as getting your show back up. And trust me, we got a lot of fans. We get anywhere between 800 and 900,000 every 15 minutes. So actually, the numbers right now we're looking at is about 865,000 listening right now. So it's definitely a God bless to have you on the show. And whatever we can do to help you to get you guys up, or the charities or whatever you need, I want you to use my show like it's your own.
Man, I really, really appreciate that, Bo. It's, you know, the big thing I found, and I ain't gonna say it's just this industry. I'm gonna say it's every industry I've ever been involved in, is everybody wants, but nobody wants to do.
Absolutely.
So, you know, man, I hope when I leave this world that at some point, for all the bad I've done, people say, you know, at some point in his life, he helped somebody. And, you know, I try to instill that in my kids, man. It's my biggest thing, and not preaching,
yes, sir.
My biggest thing is most people know who Billy Graham is if you're over 25, 30 years old.
Absolutely.
But, you know, you almost one in maybe 1,000 or 10,000 know who is the name of the man that led Billy Graham to Christ, which is Mordecai Ham. Yeah. And so, you know, man, my goal in life ain't to be a Billy Graham. My goal in life is to be a Mordecai Ham. And if I can do something and help somebody reach the level of Billy Graham in anything, business or, you know, whatever, man, I was successful. So, you know, I just, man, I think if everybody would try to be Mordecai Hams, we'd have a whole lot more Billy Grahams.
I agree.
Me too, man.
Now, real quick, and like I said, I'm going to go through. When you got a chance, now you had Ric Flair on your show when you guys were doing the bodyguard thing, trying to do that. How do you feel about when you were trying to do different stuff? I mean, who do you run into that you got that put maybe like a like a big impression on you?
Let me think. You know, there was a bunch of people, but it just nobody that would be really famous. It was the guys that were behind the people like that, right. And that's the biggest impressions that were made to me was watching the people who stood in the shadows of some of the famous people that we were allowed to work with, and by standing in the shadows, those people just impressed me so much, man. You know, I've just seen so many of them that were pushing people who. You know, there's a guy in Indiana who works Hero Awards, which is a benefit for charity for wounded soldiers and first responders and their families. And Bo, he has all kinds of famous people come out there and do stuff. But Bo, he never takes the limelight. He always takes a back seat. Never wants his name in the paper. Guys, you know, probably the most impressed I've been with a celebrity was DJ Silver.
Okay.
And he's Jason Aldean's DJ.
Yes, sir.
And I don't know that I have ever met a more generous person in my life. And I mean that sincerely. I saw him. You know, he's the only DJ with a Sony music contract. And he's probably one of the most sought after in the world. And he had got his first award, or he went to his first award show where he was actually nominated. And, you know, they get all kinds of gifts in the back. And they had gave him a necklace and a charm. And it was probably worth about $3,000. And we were walking out of the award show, Bo, and some guy he knew, he ain't seen in 10 years, walked up and got talking. He said, Bo, I sure like that necklace. He took it off his neck, put it on the boy's head, and left. I'm dead sick. I like to fill out, man. And, you know, a month later, we're in a bar in Nashville, just a little club that does local talent. And he had been looking for a Yoda shirt where Yoda's doing a Johnny Cash pose.
Okay.
And I bet he'd been looking for that Yoda shirt for a year. And he had found it the day before. He's like, he's a big Star Wars guy. I can't wait to wear my Yoda shirt. He walks around acting like a Jedi. We go to this little pub, man, together, band's playing. The dude's like, I love your shirt. Where'd you find it? He's like, oh, it took me a year. He's like, God, I wish I could have one. He got up, took his shirt off, handed it to the dude and left.
See, that's...
That is impressive.
Absolutely.
That's impressive. And just to throw his name out there, there's two guys that wrestle for NC State. They're the two seniors this year. One's Gwiz, and then TJ. But you watch them; they're national champions. Nick Gwizdowski, but they call him Gwiz. He's 84-0, longest win streak in the nation. Two-time national champion. He's undefeated this year again. He's just a phenom as far as college wrestling goes. Okay. And you know, man, I watch them with kids all the time, and they volunteer their time. Don't get paid a dime with kids. And I learned a long time ago, if you want to know the true value of a man or the true value of a person, you watch how they treat people who can do absolutely nothing for them, and you watch how they treat other people's children.
Absolutely.
And those are the people, honestly, man, that have probably impressed me the most.
Yeah, I did actually this year for my first time, and I always wanted to do it. I actually, with a lady named Tanya Lewis over here in Tampa, Florida, I fed the homeless people. And,
it's awesome, man.
And it made me feel so good about. I mean, it was. They came up and they were so happy to get that, and they were so. And I'm like, look, don't thank me. I just, being out here is what and she has actually called what's it called? Children for a Vision.
Children with a Vision.
Yeah, that's the organization she has, and that's what they were doing. They were out there doing it for them, and I thought, hey, let me volunteer my time. I could spend Thanksgiving with my family anytime. Let me do it this year. Before I'm 40.
That there's no money that could ever put what that's worth, to you when you did it. There's no value you can put on that.
Absolutely.
I'm not going, definitely not saying name, but we all worry every day about how are we going to pay the bills, how are we going to eat, what are we going to wear, how are we going to pay taxes. And just the other day, man, I got a phone call. I buy junk cars and I store them till I sit on them for a year until prices go up. But somebody called me and said, I need you to come look at 7 vehicles. And I was like, all right, but I'm kind of packed out, prices low. I just need you to come look at them. So we went and looked at them. He kind of was helping his sister. And, man, I'm not trying to give you a sob story, but, my heart just broke because this lady, who was a nice lady, has a 12-year-old autistic daughter. And me and Amy do a lot of work with autistic foundations and Down syndrome foundations. And she had a 12-year-old autistic daughter, and her husband just got thrown in jail about 6 months ago for child pornography that she didn't know about. So she's now lost her house. They tried to burn it down. She has no money. They took everything from her. And, I was sitting out there with that lady talking to her for about 30 minutes, talking to the kid, whatever, me and Amy. And, every time I start thinking about, something's going wrong, or we worry about the pettiest of things. Yeah. That lady's probably the happiest lady I've met in the last 5 years. I mean, smiling ear to ear, positive. I mean, she had nothing, in my opinion. I was like, what are you happy about? She's like, I'm breathing. I got a daughter I love. I got a place to stay tonight, and we got food on the table. And I'm like, man, and I complain about a bill. And, so when you go out and do stuff for people, man, it kind of puts it in perspective, because everybody, talks about, you stand in a corner and watch a homeless person hold a sign up. Just because you roll the window up and turn your head, don't mean that person disappears.
Absolutely.
That's what we all do, Bo. We all just try to put the blinders on and move forward. But when you stop and help somebody else, anybody that's never done it, man, just take a day out and go help some folks, just for no reason at all but to do it. Man, you can't put a price on it.
Well, I'll tell you, this is a true story. McDonald's over here in Tampa, it's called McDonald's of Tampa. My daughter, we were leaving. She's 6 years old. She has a speech impediment, but she's probably the most beautiful girl I have. She's my youngest daughter. And we're going out of McDonald's, and they have it in Walmart over here in Tampa. I don't know if they have it over there in North Carolina, but we're leaving, and there's a guy over there basically asking for food. And my daughter takes her Happy Meal. I just got her a Happy Meal, and she hands it to him, the whole thing. And I said, well, just give him the fries or something. And she goes, but Daddy, he's hungry. And I'm like, so I put it on Twitter. You could probably look at it. I put it on Twitter I took a picture of my daughter and how happy I was. She didn't even blink an eye. She's like, okay, here you go, and gave it to him. And McDonald's sent her big Happy Meal gift certificates and Frisbee and cups and shirt and everything just for doing what she did. And they said, if everybody just gives up one meal, we could feed everybody.
Oh, yeah, but, you know, so, and I understand times are hard, man. Times are hard everywhere. And I mean, I see it because I'm in the repo business, but, you know, and I ain't going to tell you we ain't had hard times because we just, you know, because you have bad times and we need bad folks. But, man, when, you know, I think the proudest moment of a parent's life is when their child does something like that without prompting.
Yep.
You know, and I think the saddest moment of a person's life is, somebody told me this a long time ago, the saddest moment of a person's life is when they sit down and plan how to get money without working for it.
Yeah.
And, you know, you never see children do that. You know, not until they learn the ways of the world would they ever go steal from you or would they ever, you know, do the things that we teach them to do. You know, children ain't born racist and they ain't born hating folk and they ain't born stealing. We teach them all that. So
absolutely,
your daughter doing that, man, that's a testament to how she was raised, and that's impressive.
Well, I appreciate it. Yeah, and trust me, I know how you feel. Like you're talking about money. Trust me, I besides doing the radio show, I also work for the county. I also own my own tree service, and I do hauling. So, and I'm not talking about cars. I'm talking about just trash and stuff. But trust me, I do. That's how I've been raised. My parents raised me up. My dad's a retired cop, a retired Marine, and he told me basically. He gave me $1,500 to get my dump truck fixed when I bought a dump truck, and he gave me the $1,500, and none of my brothers ever had to pay him back. But he goes, "You're going to pay me back," and I said, "Why am I going to pay you back?" He goes, "Because you're responsible, and you're going to pay it back, and that's how you're going to learn." And you know, of course, he was in the Hells Angels too, so it's kind of like you know, he had his little runs here and there. So, but that's how he taught me. He said, you're going to have to make your own money. That's how you're going to pay it back. Once you know the price of money. That's how you're going to learn.
Yeah, kids nowadays, man, you know, not nothing against them, but it's such a fast-paced, fast-served society. They, you know, a hard day's work is going out the window nowadays, but, you know, it's hard to find it, man. But we live in a technological age, so.
Absolutely.
You know, it's just a different world nowadays.
Well, it's just like with cell phones and stuff. It's amazing that kids at, 6, 7. Now, my daughter don't have one at 6 years old. I told her she had to wait till 10. But, they have them at 6, 7, 8 years old now. It's amazing. I'm like, man, how do you give your kid a cell phone?
Yeah, my kids call me enough. They call me enough from home phone.
Well, Ronnie, I'm going to let you get going. I know you've been busy all day, and I appreciate you giving us the time and for calling in. Like I said, feel free. I'll send over an email to Heather with my personal cell phone. If you need anything, like I said, a charity going on, and you want to get it out there. I don't know if you heard of the Country Boys. They're over there in North Carolina. If you ever have a charity, you need something, I'll be glad enough to get them over there to do a concert for you. We're all in here to help out each other. And also, you were talking about DJ Silver. Actually, I met him and DJ Dew because he's the DJ Dew's his backup when DJ Silver can't go. And both of them are very, very nice guys. So obviously, you met them too, and I got a great impression off of them, and possibly you did too. So.
Oh yeah, man. When you meet good people, you just tend to, I don't know, man. You tend to know it, bud. Good.
Well, I'm going to let you get going. I appreciate it. Is there anything you want to promote real quick? Do you have anything going on as far as charities going on, or anything you'd like to promote?
Man, like just what you said a minute ago, bud. Just promote helping folks. Somebody to take the time to go help folks, bud. And that's the best thing you can promote right now. With all, the way that this nation stays in the state it's in is because all that everybody does is try to diversify instead of unify. I don't care how many organizations you make up. If we could just take all the organizations in one area and unify them, man, you could help the world. So just take the time to help somebody else just for 2 minutes. That's the best thing you promote, man. Think about somebody else. Even no matter how bad your problems are, just take 5 minutes and try to go help somebody else, man. And we, like I said, we're real big on anything that supports. I love Hero Awards. Anybody that don't know that, please check it out. The Down Syndrome Foundation, and we do a lot with the Sadler Foundation for autism. And so those charities are the ones that we work with. But, man, help any charity. Feed a child, help a homeless person. Man, go wash somebody's car just because you know that they broke their leg the week before, and my biggest thing is I love to work with children, and Amy loves to work with elderly. If you have nothing to do for 30 minutes on a Saturday, go sit at a rest home with an elderly person. Nobody ever goes sit with them. Most people drop them off and forget about them, man. Just take time to love somebody else. That's it.
Absolutely. Also, real quick, the Lizard Tales by Ronnie Shirley on paperback. We seen it on here now. I know it's. Do you still have that available? You guys still selling it?
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah. If anybody wants to check out where we're at, what we're doing, lizardleaguetowing.com. Me and Amy are both really active. We answer you personally on Twitter. We answer personally on Instagram. We answer personally on Facebook. We don't post under threads. People get so mad. But we do answer. If you go to our pages and you post, under a new, like a comment from a visitor on the page, not under a thread, we answer every one of them 3 times a week. And, Amy's got a gluten-free cookbook out because, she's been fighting, the celiac thing for a long time now. She has a gluten allergy. She's got a cocoa allergy. She's got a sugar allergy. I think she got a Ronnie allergy. But, so we got a YouTube channel, man. We got a Vine channel. And basically, everything that's going on, we keep all the fans updated. So we got a cruise coming up where we're going to cruise with a bunch of our fans and just different stuff, man. So anybody if you want to know what we're doing, where we're going to be, we speak a lot. Just hit that right there, hit the events, or just check us out and send us a message somewhere and we'll talk to you.
I should have checked that out because I was actually I'm going on a cruise, taking my daughter on on April 7th out of Tampa, going to Cozumel, Mexico. So I should have looked for your cruise. I would have definitely joined that one.
Yeah, hey man, we're gonna have a good time. Well, ours ain't till 2017, so we kind of set it far out because we want our kids to be old enough to go. And Maggie just turned 5, so I want her to be just a little bit older. So. We'll have it next year, so if you ain't doing nothing next spring, man, it's on the website. Everything's always on the website. So that's where it's how we keep in touch. And like I said, the social media, and, I do a little bit of hip hop. Silver cut some tracks for me, and we laid some stuff down with Kyle from Matchbox 20 and, some different things. So you can find a CD on there and different things, man. But that's the best place to reach us is right there at lizardleaguetowing.com.
Well, I'll definitely go ahead and download that because I could use it as my bumper music. So I'll definitely
there you go.
Promote that for you. So, Ronnie, I apprate it. It's been an honor. Kat, you have any questions for Mr. Shirley?
Actually, I don't. I can't think of anything. That's why I've been quiet.
She's been quiet. She's so excited. Kat's so. But whatever.
Can you teach my wife how to do that?
Well, Ronnie, it's been a pleasure. Like I said, I know I'm following you on Facebook. On Twitter. Follow me back.
Hit me up and I'll make sure to retag y'all and refollow y'all.
No problem at all, and I appreciate it. And thank you very much. Whatever you need promoted, you got our number. Just I'll go ahead and shoot you my personal cell, and you coordinate with me. Whatever you need promoted, I got you.
All right, y'all have a good night. Take care.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you too, brother.
All right.
Bye. That was awesome.
Mm-hmm.